We are really lucky to have such an awesome school meal program in Fairview. I tell people all the time that we have the best food in town. I am very proud of Chef Stacy, Diana, and Hunter and the meal program here.
I was born and raised here in Fairview. Left for a couple years for college and then came back, raised my family here. There's 3 staff in the kitchen, with myself included. You know, when I first started, a lot of stuff was packaged. They were kind of a heat up and serve program. And my main focus was just to go back to old-fashioned cooking from scratch. It was pretty daunting at first to try to, cook a meal, a home-cooked meal for 300 kids. Once we got into the groove of things, we just would try, say, one new thing a week, and I just used my home recipes, multiplied by 10, 15, and we just did it. That was five years ago, and I have absolutely been loving every minute of it.
It's definitely really hard for me to pick my favorite meal here, but if I had to choose, it would probably be the nachos. They always have so many side ingredients you can put on there.
My favorite meal is the chicken Alfredo. It's my favorite meal because it's noodles, and I really like noodles, and they serve breadsticks with it. And I think that's pretty awesome because the last school I went to, they did not serve any breadsticks, and it made me sad.
I like that how they make the hot dogs.
I really like the orange chicken. There's always a salad bar.
My mom has come to town and she said, "Where's the best salad bar in town?" And I'm like, "Well, it's at the school."
They do. They just love the homemade foods. I mean, they still like a chicken burger, don't get me wrong, or a hot dog. If I do a hot dog, I will pair it with homemade macaroni and cheese and a homemade, I do a lot of fresh vegetables. So I'm always trying to kind of add that homemade component.
I know our chefs put a lot of time and effort into making sure that our meals are prepared properly and cooked at a really high standard. They always make sure they have high quality ingredients, and they're always trying to make new foods so that we're not stuck in the same boring repetition of foods all the time.
Chef Stacy makes it really exciting to try new things. We have Brussels sprouts and we have broccolini. It's fun when you see, stickers of "I tried something new today" on the kids.
We hear good things from the kids. Our lunch counts, our breakfast counts are sky high. We serve about 90% of our student body.
I went to a different school for a little while, and these meals are a lot more filling and they taste a lot better. You can tell that these meals have a lot of effort put into them. I have a weights class right before this, and most of the time I'm in there thinking about what's for lunch.
We try to serve local food as much as possible. We're in eastern Montana, so it's a little bit trickier than the western side of the state where the stuff is more accessible. When I do my ordering, I always try to source local, Cloverdale, Baker Boy, all the things that are in our general area. I have farmers, ranchers, and community members dropping off fresh produce to me all the time. Right now, I think I have probably 6 boxes of tomatoes in my cooler that I will process, turn into spaghetti sauce, tomato soup.
These apples were picked by Miss Shelby's dad and mom. These are Montana apples.
If you saw at breakfast, our rainbow of fruits every day that's available all year long. And kids choosing those healthy options is really important. And then they can become lifelong choosers of healthy options because they're learning it here now. Before last summer, Chef Stacy and Diana and Hunter wanted to provide a summer meal program for kids because, one of our core values really is that kids don't go home hungry. And the school board was in support of that and helped her to make that happen.
Our school board has been absolutely phenomenal to work with. I mean, they really do make feeding the kids priority here. That is the foundation for learning, is when your belly's full and you have nutrition, you're gonna get those kids learning what they need to learn. My very first year, I made a goal for myself to be able to get Montana beef, local beef, into our school. I did a lot of calling, researching. I was able to secure a steer from a local producer that they donated, and then they're going to pay for the processing for us, and hoping that the more the word gets out, that people will follow. So that's been a pretty high point in my career here, is being able to finally get that accomplished for our school.
We recently had an approved processor that is more local to Fairview, so it makes it easier for local producers to donate that beef to the school for it to get processed.
I think it's honestly really cool that the school gets their supply of beef from local beef producers. It builds a sense of community.
On a typical day, I am always here between 4 and 4:30. I get started right away with breakfast prep. My helpers come in about 5:36. We get breakfast kind of rolled out by 7:30. And then at 8 o'clock, I immediately start on my lunch. I mean, we're putting on 15,000 steps a day in these little kitchens. I mean, you're busy. Real food takes longer to prepare and to cook.
When you are in a large school with big numbers, it's really easy to go the convenient route. But I think that Chef Stacy and her commitment to providing fresh and homemade really overcomes those barriers. Food is what brings everybody together, and it's really, gives that community atmosphere when you're in the cafeteria, because it's full and kids are enjoying themselves and eating good, healthy food.